decisions we make, that you lead and guide our steps and our thoughts, and that we keep our county headed in the right direction. And Lord, would just be with those that need help today, and be with the first responders and all those that are in harm's way. And we just ask you to keep your protection over them. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen.
Mr. Chairman, the presentation this morning from Association of Counties has been postponed. They had some problems with traveling this morning.
Thanks, Bill. Miss Cindy, do we have a quorum this morning?
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Yes, you do.
Okay. Approval of minutes. Any questions, discussions, any changes for Cindy? I've already given her a couple to change up that were at the tail end from Commissioner Bill Berry's and my comments, and I think she's got those amended.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. I apologize, Cindy. I did not catch that. All I read was blah, 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 blah. Sorry. Mr. Chairman, with that, I move that we approve minutes from August 18th as amended. Cindy, is that correct? Would you like it to be that way, Cindy?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Dana and a second by Commissioner Zell to approve the minutes from the August 18th, 2022 meeting as amended. Any other questions or discussion on it? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously. All right. Mike Espiritu, come give us an update on all the great things that's going on in Chaves County and City of Roswell with the EDC.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. It's always a delight to be before you. A pleasure to serve this wonderful county that we all live in. A couple updates real quick. Ascend Aviation. In fact, I walked the site yesterday as well with my hard hat and vest, and they're moving a lot of dirt out there. It's starting to look really nice. They still have, as usual, construction issues, but that project is moving along. I think they're still on track, hopefully for a late spring, early summer next year opening. As you are probably aware, that we recently testified for a JTIP board for Gene Baldwin. They received over $163,000 for 25 new jobs, average age of 1553 with full benefits. Also testified for Pecos Valley Productions just this past Friday. Some of you have been out there. They were awarded $233,715 and change for 29 new jobs, average wage of $17.05 with full benefits. There's a program also part of JTIP. It's called Step Up. It's not used much in the state, I understand. And Step Up is a program that allows existing employees to receive training benefit. And as a result, if the company invests in infrastructure, equipment, and the training of those people and a possible wage increase, they're eligible for recapturing some of those training dollars. So working with Pecos Valley, they put in an application for that. They received full award for that for another $5,280. So, and that was for 15 trainees of existing employees. That's a good piece because that means we're helping existing employees as well. As you probably are aware, or maybe not, but last month the JTIP department came for a site visit, and we took them for a day and a half long visit with a lot of companies in Chaves County, particularly the Air Center, that received JTIP funds, and to verify and help them with future applications as they grow, one of them including USA Beef. So I took them out to USA Beef, and they hadn't been out there for a few years. Met with Joe Madrid and his daughter, who's pretty much doing the administrative piece of the JTIP applications. And I will say that they're up to about 60 employees right now. The number kind of moves around a little bit because they had a change in some of their production. but they're growing. In fact, they're building, to continue to build on to their facility. So from a physical plant perspective, I see USAB continuing to develop, and I'm pretty excited about that. As a side note, they have purchased a facility in Roswell to expand their operation for processing because they're running out of room. And it's a building that we had worked with them on before, and we're actually pretty excited that they're moving in. I was just out there walking the building just yesterday, so it looks pretty good. They're going to have a large cold storage area, which is urgently needed, especially for their business. We also took the JTIP folks out to Red Mountain Arsenal. Red Mountain Arsenal, although they have low job numbers, like everyone else, they're looking for employees. They do pay good wages. They do have more work than they can handle, and which I think is good. And they're entering into the more of the international markets for their products. We had time with the senior leadership at Eastern New Mexico University with Dr. Powell and his team, and discuss ways how those training programs can benefit employers and employees in Chavez County, and how the JTIP office can help with that. There is funding available that helps the university pay for coursework for trainees of employers, so that are in the JTIP program. So there's additional funding that can actually be pushed to the university for some programs they can provide. And of course, we met with General Aviation Support, Dean Baldwin, Ascend Aviation, Cavu Aerospace, AirSail, during our visit. Last month also, and I know that your county manager, Bill Williams, was there. Bill, thank you for being there at the and Chairman Cavan. We had an event where, an opportunity, I should say, where this EDC applied for application with the State Economic Development Department to become a certified economic development organization. Apologize for the alphabet soup. It's a new program with the state, and with it, if we're successful, we can receive a grant. Now, who knows if that's going to happen or not? But part of the requirement of the application, which was quite a process, the written piece, was a site visit. So they brought a team down from Santa Fe and visited our community and met with folks from business, education, finance, government, and so on, to learn more about how we are doing to serve this area. And I think Chairman Cavan, you probably know the result of that was seen pretty positive from our perspective. We won't know anything until the end of this month at the Governor's Economic Development Conference in Albuquerque, which I'll be at. Well, they'll award or announce the award of those certified economic development organizations. Now, if we are not selected, what does that mean? We won't receive the grant money. Well, that's okay. We'll deal with that. But in other words, I should say that I think the resounding comments from everyone that attended, and there was about 20 folks there, right, Chairman, roughly?
There were. The representation was amazing because you had the school districts that were there, and the CTE programs, and then, of course, the city and county. There was a lot of great representation there from Chavez County and the city of Roswell, which was impressive, I think, for them.
To include Dexter and Hagerman.
Correct.
So I think that's really important that the state sees that this county is unified and moving the needle towards creating opportunity for our county. So that concludes my report. It was a good event, and I stand for your questions. Hopefully you had time to, if you haven't, read my written report, but I stand for your questions at this time.
Commissioners, any questions for Mike?
Mr. Chairman, I do have a question. I have something that really concerns me. You said you met with local doctor's office to discuss their concerns for malpractice insurance. I had a conversation too just last week that's why we're seeing so much movement with doctors coming in but leaving. We were getting traveling nurses, now we're getting traveling doctors because they don't want to stay in the New Mexico. Is that kind of what you heard too?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Dana, it's that, but this is really tied to the medical malpractice concern. I'm not sure if you're aware, but the governor signed HB 11, I think, in a special session last year or the year before, which allowed the cap on malpractice insurance to rise to $750,000 per occurrence. And it appears that may extend into one more year, 2023. Why is this important? Because after that, it climbs to $5 million per occurrence, and it will put our physicians probably one of two things, either to leave New Mexico, because it does not apply just to Chaves County, but it applies to the entire state. Leave New Mexico because they can't find the insurance. And I think that's a real problem. Our executive committee, it's on our agenda for our next meeting, the 29th of this month, for us to discuss. My hope is that our state representatives will help move the needle on that, if they can, to do something about that. I'm not an attorney like Commissioner Zell is, but I think that there's certainly some legal folks have been involved in some of the proceedings with HB 11. But my concern is how do we keep the great physicians we have, because it's tough getting them here anyway. How do we keep them in business in Chaves County? And that's why we're going to have that discussion, and hopefully our state folks will help. I'm not sure what that help means yet. If that means that they can retain the current rates so we don't lose physicians, then we'll be able to still continue to help recruit some, but more importantly, we won't lose them. Now, this applies to independent physicians, and if they have their practice outside of a hospital, they're affected. They could be under the hospital umbrella and they'll be protected, but if they're independent, even though they have rights and privileges at a hospital, they're still impacted. So speaking with that physician in particular, he was very concerned. He has invested a lot of funds into making his practice grow in Chaves County, and he's had thousands of patients. So his concern is he'll have to leave, and that's what concerns me for our county.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner. Other questions for Mike? Mike, can or did you have something, Commissioner Zell? No. Okay. There was an article in the newspaper today. Bill and I attended a meeting earlier this week with the airport. Is it commission? What is the
Airport Advisory Commission?
Airport Advisory Commission, and I know that Commissioner Zell didn't make that meeting in February of 2021 with the report from the task force that had been put together to look at either an authority out at the airport, and they came with a thought process that we should look at a JPA, a Joint Powers Agreement. And after that meeting, it pretty much got thrown in the trash can because of leadership that didn't have any interest in that. Well, we have new leadership in the city council and a new mayor, and that report has been pulled back out of the trash can. So if you can kind of give a synopsis of what that looks like for the commissioners a year and a half later since we had that first report. I made sure Bill gave everybody a copy of what was presented that day, but if you can kind of give everybody an idea of kind of where this might be going, the possibilities of this JPA.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, thank you. Great question. The group of I want to say it's about a dozen or so elected officials and local business people. Stan Riggs, when he was here, he was part of that initially, and then Bill, the transition, then Bill was there representing the county. The whole purpose was to identify a way of governance for the Air Center, how we can move it to the next level. That was really the intent. Whether it's an authority or the JPA or economic taxing district or whatever the form of governance is. So we spent the time and learned more about the Air Center that we could. And the reason we didn't we decided not to move towards an authority at this time, the recommendation, because we felt it was a bridge too far. We didn't have the full financial picture economically of the Air Center to make that decision or recommendation. And so the group decided that probably the best form of governance is something we've been talking about, and that is how can we collectively together really make that a jewel of New Mexico and create that great bond between the city and the county. So that's why the JPA came up, Joint Powers Agreement, to create a form of governance that can really help put us all together in the same room to make great things happen. So you're correct, Mr. Chairman. There was a presentation, City Council. I was there, and after that, we heard nothing. The new leadership on the Airport Advisory Commission, which I still am a part of on the commission with Bud Kunkel, who is the chair. We talked about the JPA and how to resurrect it and discuss it, and we have. And that's what you saw in today's paper, was how can we create the opportunities for the Air Center with a better form of governance, if you will, by including the county. Now, I know what I've heard from you, Mr. Chairman, and others is the county doesn't desire to own the Air Center. They desire to be a partner with the city because together we can really make great things happen. Because after all, Roswell's still in Chaves County, last time I looked. So I think moving forward, the JP is probably reasonable. I know that County Manager Williams will be working with Stan and Hess Etema, I think his name is, this new Roswell City Attorney, to work up some type of draft documents for your review on how to continue this discussion. I believe that it's a great start forward, because in the JPA, in that document of the recommendation for JPA, we discussed about having a consulting company, help us manage the Air Center so we can truly turn it into a strong financial economic enterprise. And we think that's really important. That was really the crux of the Airport Authority. As you know, other communities that have former military bases shuttered and given to them, like we have here, they've done remarkably well. And they've done something similar to that. And that's Oregon Airport Authority. And that's why we felt that that's the right step forward, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mike. Any questions on that for Mike? Doesn't look like it. Mike, keep grinding away at it. You're doing a great job for us. We really appreciate all you do for our community. So thank you.
Thanks. It's a pleasure to serve.
All right, agenda item number 1, Bill Williams.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, agenda item number 1 is amendment number 3 to the Economic Development Agreement A19042. The County Commission has approved Agreement A19042 with the Roswell-Chaves County Economic Development Corporation to provide professional industrial economic development services. On May 21st, 2020, the Board of Commissioners approved amendment number 2 to the agreement, which provided $25,000 to be used as an incentive for a housing project. Since that time, Mike and the EDC have reported that positive changes for housing in our community have eliminated their need to use those monies for the housing project incentive. Amendment number 3 to Agreement A19042 would allow the EDC to use the money along with a grant that they're receiving from Xcel Energy to perform an environmental clearance site survey study for the Roswell Air Center. I stand for questions. Staff recommends approval, and I'm glad that Mike is still here. He can also answer questions. Thank you.
Commissioners, any questions on this?
Why does the Air Center need an environmental clearance site survey /study?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Zell, thank you. Great question. So one of the areas, and this is a great example of a partnership once we get there, right? The EDC applied for a grant opportunity with Xcel Energy. The grant is a matching grant, and in our discussions, they felt that, because, let me back up. The grant is really tied to creating a mega site at the Air Center. What does that mean? Well, as you know, we have nearly 4,500 acres at the Air Center. A lot of it is land that's not been used for quite some time. that is, in Excel's words, a unicorn, and which is true, a unicorn in the industry today, because there are very few airports our size in Chaves County with that landmass that's available for development. So working with the Air Center folks, identified basically 2 parcels, which is combined will equal about 1,800 acres, and that's considered a mega site. Now, what does that mean? Future economic opportunity development. Much of what we've talked about in the southeast corner with now Mayor Tim Jennings. This fund, these funds, so we applied for the money for Xcel Energy to help fund the geotech and the environmental studies, which will be required to make that property shovel-ready for development. So that's why, Commissioner, that we have gone forward towards that endeavor, because that's something we have to do. It won't be a certified site, but it'll be a ready site. Xcel will help market that. They've already awarded the $20,000 to us. I haven't received it yet, but they've already awarded that. We've invoiced them. And with these funds, then we can actually help pay for those studies, which will be required. I appreciate the fact that when I was before you a few years ago, and we talked about this opportunity for this housing incentive, because we had a real problem back just a few years ago. And as Bill Williams said, things have changed in our communities, and housing in that area seems to be coming around, and we had not used those funds. And frankly, I would feel amiss if I don't come back to you and say, if we can't use those funds, either want to return them, or how can we use them to better serve this region? And that's why I propose to the county manager that you consider helping us utilize those funds to pay for the matching piece of this grant project for the mega site for those studies at the Air Center.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Commissioners, any other questions?
Mr. Chairman, I move we accept amendment number 3 to the EDC agreement A-19-042.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Dana and a second by Commissioner Ezell to approve agenda item 1, which is amendment 3 to agreement A-19-042 between Chaves County and the Roswell Chaves County Economic Development Corporation for professional services. Any further questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, sir.
Miss Lucia.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and County Commissioners. Agenda item number 2 is Resolution R-22-050, which is the deletion of property and proposed disposition. Your approval to this resolution will allow staff to remove the attached inventory. Exhibit A has all the assets listed. Staff recommends approval.
Commissioners, any questions? Commissioner Dana, did you find something on here that you were interested in?
I'm trying to find it. I did find something. Isn't there a that John Deere 500 backhoe? From the road department? No? Okay. I need a new tractor. I'm glad you guys are cleaning out. You're cleaning out a lot of stuff. Mr.
Chairman, I recommend
Go-
approval.
Go ahead.
Agenda item number 2, resolution R-22050 for deletion of property for proposed disposition.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
I have a motion by Commissioner Bilberry and a second by Commissioner Dana to approve agenda item 2, which is resolution R-22-050 for deletion of property and proposed disposition. Any further questions or discussions? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously. Thank
Thank you.
you.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, agenda item number 3 was going to be to approve a resolution. We'd like to pull that resolution, but let me give you a kind of an update. After Stan's legal review of this resolution, it was determined that this action was not necessary, and that I only wanted to assure that you were aware that Chaves County is to be the fiscal agent for this agreement between Chaves County Flood Control and the USDA NRCS. Total amount of the grant is $780,000. Flood Control will be responsible for a 25% match, which is $195,000. And Chaves County Flood Control Superintendent, who's currently Mr. Smith, will be signing the documents. And so no action is necessary. I just wanted to make this known to you because of the dollar amount that's involved. And we will all answer any questions. I see that we have a good contingent from Flood Control, and myself, maybe we can answer any questions you might have.
What are we gonna do?
Would you like to tell us what the plan is, Mr. Smith?
Yeah, Commissioner Ezell, I can't answer your question right now. The NRCS is gonna furnish us a design. By the way, let me introduce Brian Holland to you. We selected him to become the new superintendent for flood control. And he's there working now. And going back to the Macho Draw, when Martin Corn settled there in the 1870s, they built a dam on the Macho Draw. The Macho Draw is the largest subwatershed that comes to the Pecos River. It's 2,847 square miles. Comes clear from Corona, New Mexico, down the Gallo, hits the Macho, and Cowboy Draw, and comes on in. So it's a rather large watershed. They built a dam on it. They were farming it back then. Their dam washed out 25 years ago, and we put it back. And now the channel that takes the water around their farm is washing out. So they applied to the NRCS for a program called EWP, Emergency Watershed Program. And they got approved. It'll protect their sheep feeding lot when it's done. We're not sure what it's going to be yet. We may have to come back later. We're allowed to do in-kind work on this, so we may have to ask for more money. Hopefully it'll be less, so I don't know. Right now we're talking about 2 large silk control fences to hold the arroyo in its present configuration, keep it from washing into the sheep feedlot. So I can't really answer you right now because I don't know what kind of design we're going to get from NRCS. The road department, as you guys know, has been out there. The road, every time the arroyo runs, it's pretty hard on the road. It goes out to their place. And I think the county's done quite a bit of work there on that road. And
Yes.
I don't know if we can hold that much drainage or not, but it's a big watershed.
Yeah, it is.
And when it runs big. So we did sustain some damage to the dam. This last run, we had a large flood there about a month and a half ago. And it's minimal damage, which we'll repair. But it diverts the arroyo around his farm, the low flows, and it goes in the ground. It's harsh topography, takes a lot of water into the ground and recharges our artesian basin. So that's what we're looking at. We've never used the EWP program in Chaves County before. We've used it in Lincoln and Ontario quite a bit for fires and floods. So this will be a first for our county. So that's what we're doing.
Thank
Dick, were there any issues at Third Diversion and the dike to the south after this last event?
Calder, I'm having trouble hearing you.
Were there any issues with the Third Diversion and the dike to the south when?
No.
I didn't think so.
We completed the work at the Third Diversion, and the floodwater did not go to the airport. Our work that we had finished contained it, diverted it down the Hondo, so the air base did not flood the stuff.
Well, that was great work.
We had the old Diamond A headquarters, the county road out there has got a concrete bridge, as you know.
Yeah.
And the Hondo makes a hard left-hand turn as it goes under that bridge. Well, the water does not want to run under the bridge, and they haven't done any, USGS has not done any maintenance on that gauge up there for several years. And so the channel is overgrown. The water now is coming down the real Hondo and hits that that hard left-hand turn. It doesn't want to make that bend to go under the bridge. So it shoots straight down the county road and goes down the valley. They sustained a lot of damage over there this last flood. And the bad news is that gauge is missing about 20 to 30% of the water that flows down. We had a big flood at Ruidoso, as you know, and so we only measured like 38,000 cubic feet per second right there at the Old Diamond A Ranch. Well, we had another 20,000 that went on down that didn't get measured. So the Corps of Engineers bases their management of the dam down there on the gauge.
On the gauge results.
Diamond A Ranch. So we're getting the wrong reading. So there's a lot more water coming down through there than they're measuring. That's something that needs to be resolved in the future.
Thank you.
Commissioners, any other questions for Dick on this?
Mr. Chairman, we do have some people on Facebook. Bill, would you introduce Brian for us?
Yeah.
Please.
Brian, can you come up to the microphone so they can get you on the camera?
We have some people that could not attend today, but they're watching on Facebook, so.
So
I want
Brian
them to
Hotelan
know.
was hired by Flood Control to be the Assistant Deputy Flood Control Superintendent, which means he has a very steep learning curve over the next couple of years to learn from Dick as much as he possibly can learn from Dick. I know Dick has an awful lot to teach, and I know Brian Hotelan is very anxious to learn as much as he possibly can and continue to bring flood control forward with innovative ideas and protecting us from the floodwaters that come down once in a while. Thank you, Brian.
It'll be like drinking from the proverbial fire hose.
Yes.
Yes, it has been so far.
Thank you. We're glad you're here. Thanks.
Welcome.
Thank you. Yes. Okay, agenda item 4, Bill.
Okay. Agenda item number 4 is Resolution R-22052, which is the order that Chaves County annually gives to the assessor to impose the 2022 certified tax rates. The Chaves County Commission receives certificate of tax rates from the DFA each year in September. The commission is required by statute to issue a written order imposing the tax at the rate set on the net taxable value of the property. A resolution ordering the county assessor to impose the rates must be approved each year. It's important to point out these tax rates are set by the secretary of the DFA and not the county. The rates have been provided, and our assessor is here. Sandra has sent those rates out to all the people who are involved in this to assure that they are correct. And as you know, Mr. Chairman, we only have 5 days to respond back and sign the documents and send them back to Santa Fe after we receive the official letter, which you received this morning. And so this resolution would take care of that need for this year. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill. Commissioners, any questions for Bill? Or for Ms. Sandra, or pertaining to this?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we accept Resolution R-22-052, ordering the Chaves County Assessor to impose the 2022 certified tax rates.
Second.
And a motion by Commissioner Dana and a second by Commissioner Ozell to approve Agenda Item 4, which is Resolution R-22-052, ordering the Chaves County Assessor to impose the 2022 certified tax rates. Any further questions or discussions on this? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously. Mac Rogers.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Agenda item number 5 is Resolution R-22-053, an agreement A-22-040 between Chaves County and New Mexico Department of Transportation accepting transportation project funds. The State Transportation Commission awarded Chaves County a grant from the TPF fund for the Brasher Bridge replacement. The NMDOT has allocated $1.187 million in state TPF funds with a local match requirement of 5% or $62,500 for a total funding amount of $1.25 million. This award, coupled with $500,000 from our appropriations from our state legislature, will fully fund the Brasher Bridge replacement project. A note of correction, the resolution in your book has a wrong resolution number. The official signed copy will have the correct resolution number. Thanks to Joe West for all his work on a successful application. Staff recommends approval.
Commissioners, any questions for Mac?
That'll cover it. We hope.
Do we know when start date might be yet, or how long does it usually take?
We're in the design phase right now.
Okay. Okay, cool. I know that's been a heartburn for people for quite some time, so.
Mr.
Dick.
Chairman, Commissioners, if I could, when we started out with this project, we had a price that was considerably lower. As time has gone on, everything has gone up drastically.
Really?
We were very excited that we were fully funded. As soon as we found out the need for this bridge, the community came, of course, before the commission, let us know what was going on, and we aggressively sought funding, made it all the way through the funding process until it was vetoed by former Governor Susana Martinez. So we had to start over again. We didn't give up. We continue to keep that high on our list of priorities. We did receive legislative capital outlay, and then Joe, I just can't tell you how happy we are that Joe pursued these TPF funds. The match is considerably less than some of our other funding opportunities. He really stepped up and went out and sought the funds that we needed to replace that bridge. So we do get a happy ending for the Brasher Road Bridge that the people brought to us. The way government's supposed to work, we find out, we respond and do things, and Joe did a great job. I'd just like to point that out again. Thank you.
Thank
Bill.
you.
Mac, real quick question. You said that, so are the numbers correct or different for what we have on our agenda here and what we have on the computer?
So it's just a typo on the header for the resolution.
Okay.
The funding numbers are all correct.
But my question is it still R-22-053?
Yes, sir.
And still A-2204?
Yes, sir. Those are the correct numbers.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I move approval of Resolution R-22053 and Agreement A-22040 between Chaves County and the New Mexico DOT.
Second.
Got a motion by Commissioner Zell and a second by Commissioner Bilberry to approve Agenda Item 5, which is Resolution R-22-053 and Agreement A-22-040 between Chaves County and the New Mexico Department of Transportation accepting transportation project funds. Any further questions or discussions on this? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously. Dick, thank you, guys. Appreciate all you're doing for us.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, agenda item number 6 is ratification for request of out-of-state travel. Bill Williams is requesting ratification for out-of-state travel for the NACO conference that was held in Denver, Colorado on July 20th through 24th, 2022. This is brought to our attention by the Finance Department that watches every T and every I, make sure they're crossed and dotted, and they realized that I'd failed to get approval for this, and Commissioner Cavan was kind enough to sign my approval. However, we'd like you to ratify his signature. Thank you.
I think he's on his own.
Thanks, Commissioner.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve request for out-of-state travel for Bill Williams attending the NACO conference.
Second.
Got a motion by Commissioner Dana and a second by Commissioner Bill Berry to approve agenda item 6, which was a request for out-of-state travel for County Manager Bill Williams to go to the annual NACO conference in Denver, Colorado. Any further questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously. Thank you. 7, let's go, Miss Lucia.
Is DFA approval letter of fiscal year 22-23 final budget. The attached letter is from DFA Local Government Division, was received indicating its official approval of our final budget for fiscal year 22-23. Budgets approved by the division are required to be made part of the minutes of our governing body. No other action is required. This is basically just an informational saying that our budget was approved by DFA. Yay. I want to just thank the departments again for all y'all's hard work. We wouldn't be able to get this letter without making no corrections, without y'all's hard work on it.
Commissioners, any questions for Ms. Lucia?
Mr. Chairman, I move that the minutes reflect that the DFA has approved our fiscal 22-23 budget.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Rozelle and a second by Commissioner Bill Berry on agenda item 7, which is letting the minutes know that the DFA has approved the approval of fiscal year 2022-2023 final budget. Any other questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Bill, is this you?
This will be Mac.
Oh, Mac.
Yes.
Agenda item number 8 is permission to purchase a Class A pumper truck for East Grand Plains Volunteer Fire Department. The department is requesting approval to purchase a Class A pumper truck. Funding for the vehicle will come from the apparatus replacement schedule and fire funds. The specifications have been approved by the State Fire Marshal's Office, and this is replacing a 2001 Freightliner Unit 202. Staff recommends approval.
Commissioners, any questions for Mac?
What are we going to do with Unit 202?
I'm not sure if they're gonna make it a parade truck or dispose of it.
I'll take it.
We see it. You need something else for the auction list.
It's closer to my house than it is yours. Less travel. Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve permission to purchase a Class A pumper truck for the East Grand Plains Volunteer Fire Department.
Second.
And a motion by Commissioner Dana and a second by Commissioner Rozelle to approve agenda item 8, which is permission to purchase a Class A pumper for the EGP Volunteer Fire Department. Any other questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously. Approval of checks. Who's going to spend money today?
Gotta find it first.
Yeah, there's-
Yes, yes.
go to the
hold
pink
on.
page.
Well, this last one had quite a few.
Yes, EGP really wanted that pumper.
I guess so. They sent all sorts of good stuff to read about it.
Cut down a whole forest.
Yes.
Oh, there we go.
Hold on, I'm not there
Mr.
yet.
Chairman,
Commissioner Taylor.
I move approval of checks in the amount of $1,979,190.29.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
I have a motion by Commissioner Taylor and a second by Commissioner Dana to approve checks to the amount of $1,979,190.29. Any further questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously. Approval of reports.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve reports.
Second.
Got a motion by Commissioner Dana and a second by Commissioner Bilberry for approval of reports. Any further questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously. All right. We have come to our unscheduled communications. They are limited to 3 minutes per visitor and not to exceed 15 minutes. No formal action is taken by the commission. If you want to come to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and we'll start the clock. Anybody in the audience?
Hello, my name is Bonnie Brainerd. I'm at 1012 North Lee, Roswell, and I'm here to talk again about voter integrity, your favorite subject. All right, as you may or may not know, I am the treasurer for Larry Marker, who's running as a write-in candidate for Commissioner of Public Lands. It's a state office. And you may not be aware, but I know Cindy is because I've been in conversation with Cindy over this, but the tabulators, when you do a write-in, and you fill in the dot and you write in the name, you drop it in that tabulator, it drops into a special ballot, a special box, because it's special. It has to be hand counted because they can't read your writing. Well, that box only holds 200 ballots, approximately is what we've determined. So that creates a problem, because we are fully prepared to win this election, and we are fully prepared to have a lot of votes. And 200 per machine, this is the list of the tabulators and the counts from the 2020 election, which was a presidential election, so chances are we won't have that kind of turnout. But the two that were the very earliest machines had just under 5,000 ballots. You limit me to 200 ballots per machine. What happens to my other votes? So I need some kind of support from the county commissioners that says this isn't going to happen in our county, that you're not going to stop a candidate, a valid candidate, from having all his votes counted. So what do you guys think? Are you aware of this? Are you aware of all the problems with this system? It's jacked up. And it's not gonna, it's wrong. So, anybody have a comment? Anybody want to give me some kind of hope that you'll do something? Or does that not happen? Thank you.
Well, Ms. Brainerd, it's not the county commission's job to run the elections, it's the county clerk's job.
Yeah, but it's the county commissioner's duty to stand up for this county. And this,
Understood.
what is happening is wrong. It's wrong. We have a great county. We have a great board. We have a phenomenal county clerk. We have a phenomenal sheriff. But what the hell, guys? I have an uphill battle. Led has an uphill battle. He's the only candidate running for that position that's oil and gas. We're an oil and gas county. We need you to stand up and say, okay, come on, dudes. We need to figure this out right now, not November 7th. Do something. Stand up. Thank you.
Cindy, is there a procedure for emptying the boxes?
So this is something we've been talking about with Mr. Marker's campaign and Ms. Brainerd. Yes, we have a procedure in place for early voting to check the write-in bin each and every day. There's a procedure and an accountability system to remove those ballots to make sure. I've been doing testing in my office on an ice cream election. It's a test for this very purpose, to see how many write-in ballots the machine will hold. We've also reached out to Bernalillo County because they are a much bigger county and have dealt with the numbers of write-in candidates, and they've never had a problem with the machine not taking them. There's other things we can look at the end of the night, going through all of the ballots and making sure if any of those did not divert into the write-in bin that we get those out. But yes, I'm committed to making sure every vote in this county counts. And so yeah, we will do what we need to do to make sure that happens.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Good morning, I'm Tim Jennings, 2716 North Penn, number 48. And as your flood commissioner, I would just tell you you heard earlier about the event on Macho Draw, Mr. Mike Matthews, our assistant city manager, and Karen Sanders and I, we spent some time going around and checking and looking. One of the things, and we also went out with the National Weather Service that came down here because that was such a unique event out on Macho Road. We did get together and meet, and one of the things that happened was our joint weather safety expert, Ms. Sanders, she probably needs a little money for a little more truck. Her old truck was an old salvage truck that was salvaged from when George was the fire queen, and she's been driving that around a little bit, and she has some money set aside, but she might need a little help to find one with windows in it, at least roll-up windows. So, but on the serious note, what we really did find was that one of the the biggest problems we have is with the gauges on the rivers, and we need to get the National Weather Service to put better gauges at every place where they can put a gauge in the river so we can determine the proper flow, how much water that we went down, that goes down our rivers. And you heard Dick say something about where there's a sharp bend in the road and all that water went down the road. Well, if we lost 30% of the water, that also affects the amount of water that we have to deliver to Texas. And so, and then what we can keep here. So that there's some things there, but we need to have more accurate information. What leaves Rocky Arroyo, which doesn't have a gate on it, would be nice if it had a gate and had a gauge. And so we could get accurate information about how much water goes through that and how much water would be coming towards Roswell, and then so we can see how much is added in the parts that come between the dam and Roswell. So we can figure out how much water is added there. In this last storm, we didn't have that problem. In the one before it that washed out, I guess structure 3, as you would call it, we don't have an accurate amount of water or any way to gauge an accurate amount of water that comes between the dam and Roswell. And so that would be very helpful. It would also be very helpful in, when we were looking and examining the last storm and the uniqueness of the last storm. There was outside of all the rattlesnakes that were moved out of the river bottom and all around, the amount of water that and the time that it took to get that water from the Clovis Highway to Roswell, out here on east of town at the Pecos River Bridge, and then on to Artesia was pretty unique. It took a lot longer than most people thought because of the amount of water that was outside the actual banks of the river, and how the spread out of the river spread out so much, and it seemed to diminish quite a bit from by the time it got to Artesia from what they had projected. But if we'd had accurate gauges, it would make it a lot easier for us to predict where the floods are coming and where they're going and how long before they get there. It would be a great help. So any help you can give us with the National Weather Service and to determine and add more gauges would be very, very helpful as far as flood control and water management. So
Is it the National Weather Service or the ISC that maintains the gauges?
I'm not sure which one does it, but
Okay.
it's kind of like the gates out there. But I know the National Weather Service was very much in tune with those gauges and about where they came, but we just don't have enough gauges to. Of course, it's hard when the river spreads out as wide as that one was. It was up. There's 2 gates out there that are probably 4 feet tall on the Pecos out here, and the water was right up to the top, if not over those 2 green gauges on the west side of the river.
How much of that was exacerbated by the fact that because of the shortage in Carlsbad, the Wednesday before the storm, they started a 2,000 acre feet release from Fort Sumner. The timing of that was just unbelievable to me, that they put 2,000 acre feet into the water,
And
into
then
the
they-
river, and then we get that kind of
Yeah.
rain.
And then they didn't shut the dam off after that.
Yeah, they did shut it back. They shut it back down, but so they have water in the lake now that they probably wouldn't have had, but, in the lake. But it was, these natural occurrences are pretty strange. So for being natural occurrences, I mean, they're very difficult to protect. And I was very proud of the amount of work that the Flood Commission staff put in on that Dam 3. I mean, we significantly increased the size of that dam. It does not alleviate the opportunity for a flood between the dam in Roswell and the air base. That is still going to be there until we can figure out another structure to catch that water, because when it rains, as the last storm before this one, that storm put all kinds of water between the dam and Roswell.
Well, and that was the perfect storm anyway, because the Rocky and the Hondo were coming down.
Yeah, they were both coming.
This last one, it was just the Hondo.
Yeah.
And everything worked exactly the way it was supposed to. And congratulations to Flood Commission for
But they did a
the
good
work
job,
they did on
staff.
diversion 3, and that it held.
So, all right, that's just all. I don't want to get over my 3 minutes, but thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Anybody else in the audience that wants to speak?
one to kick a dead horse, but I'm gonna put on the spurs.
Before you get those spurs dug in, would you state your name and address
Chuck
for the
Waltrip,
record?
9 Richmond Road, Dexter.
Thank you.
Last month at the meeting, we brought up about the question of the Dominion machines, and we were told there was a process. And I just wondered, where are we in the process? To ensure that there's no more shenanigans with those things.
I do not know that anybody has filed any kind of an action against the Secretary of State yet.
So there needs to be an action filed.
I think that's the only remedy there is.
That's a procedural deal then.
I think probably there would be original jurisdiction in the, unfortunately, in the New Mexico Supreme Court to seek a mandamus action to make the Secretary of State do her job.
Wow. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, or actually good morning. It's almost afternoon. But first, I am Travis County Sheriff Mike Harrington, number 1 St. Mary's Place. I just want to let you know that I'm working hand in hand with the Fair Board to make sure there's good security, as well as to make sure the flow of traffic and everything into the fair this year is going to be done smoothly. And we have the Roswell Police Department, the Travis County Sheriff's Office, the Dexter Fire Department, and also I believe it is Sierra and the Roswell Fire Department are all meeting, and we had 2 meetings so far. We're going to have another one on the 29th, and it looks as though everything is going to go very well. I will have 10 deputies out there. The Mounted Patrol will have 10 of their Mounted Patrol officers out there, and the Roswell Police Department will have officers out there, so I expect that things are going to go very well, very smooth. So I just wanted to let you know that we've been working on that, and that it has been great to see everybody working together for the benefit of Chaves County.
Finally.
Yep, finally. And it is going very well. So, good. And the other thing I was going to tell you is that same thing for the parade. One of the things that I do want you to know is that this year the Chaves County Sheriff's Office will be escorting the Veterans Parade to keep the veterans from being charged a fee for their parade. We're going to do it like a rolling, the same way that I do funerals. It's going to be a rolling parade. We'll be in front, behind, and we'll block intersections as we go. And there's only like 13 floats. So it is a very fast-moving parade, but the reason that I want to bring this up is because, one, I want more people in the community to know that there will be a Veterans Parade next month, and that we need people to come out and support our veterans of Chaves County. So thank you for your time.
Mr. Chairman, Mike,
Go ahead.
you have a bag of candy.
I sure do. I'm grateful
That's
for
our
that.
contribution from the Chaves County Commissioners. You're welcome, Commissioners.
Thank you
not
very
all
much.
That's not all you're going to get, but anyways,
thank you.
any update?
Hey, it took me all I could to just leave him one bag of
Okay, well,
chocolates.
then that's all. Then that's all you get.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Any updates on the bus accident that happened at Poe and Union?
as of right now, we were just told that 3 of the children or juveniles were injured, but other than that, I haven't heard anything else. So I've been in here and been getting messages back and forth, but I haven't received any updates on that.
Right. Okay.
And where was it?
Poe and Union.
Yeah. So
I didn't know if they were middle school kids or elementary school kids, because that's just down the street from
yeah,
Monterey.
I believe it was a mixture of everybody. They were going to Roswell High, I believe,
Okay.
to pick up or drop off. So,
All right.
all right. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Mike. Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody out on the internet that has any comments, Andrew? We'll give it a minute. All right. Thank you. Bill Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Just a few things to report. First of all, I want to thank God for the rain, and a little less want to thank Him for the weeds, but nonetheless, thank you for the rain, and pray for the safety of the kids on the school bus and the responders. Make sure that settles out with very minimal impact to our community. Commissioner Bilberry and I, we met with New Mexico cattle growers last Tuesday. We talked about the 30 by 30 and where that's heading and how it still is alive and well, and we all need to stand firm and help to fight against that overreach by the government. We also talked a little bit about the Forest Service plan in Chaves, Eddy, Lincoln, and Otero counties, and their unwillingness to work with the local governments as they're required to by law. So we talked about a lot of that stuff, and I felt very much at home with that group. It's a good group of people from all around our community, and just really commend them for what they do. I'm not going to say a whole lot about the Airport Advisory Committee, but they did task us, as in the newspaper today, to try to figure out what would go into a JPA to bring before you and before the City Council. So there'll be a lot of talks about that over the next period of time. Want to thank all the county departments. First of all, I want to introduce y'all to Anna Nieto, if you'll stand up for them. Anna is our new procurement officer. Sandra Rodriguez got another job opportunity and moved on, and we wish her well. And Anna comes to us from the city of Roswell. She's already fully certified and trained and has been working diligently to help us continue to do good things and to not run afoul of what our requirements are as far as procurement.
Welcome.
Yes, thank you.
Welcome.
And another person I'm not sure you've met is Shane. He works for our IT department. Shane is sitting here. There, now he's standing. Okay. Their department is doing great things, replacing a lot of old hardware that we didn't realize was such a concern, but of course it's all about the same age, and we have concerns about all that all kind of at the same time. So thank you guys for working diligently on that. Our HR department is representing us at the county fair at New Mexico County's booth up there. The assessor, of course, they've been working on the tax rates that you saw this morning. Of course, the ladies in the front and the assessors in the back, or the appraisers in the back, they deal with the public every day. I want to thank them for that. Clerk's office, they take in so many documents. They do so many things. And then on top of that, they deal with elections and IPRA requests and all that. I want to thank everyone in that office. Finance department, we mentioned this morning how good a job they do catching little things that need to be corrected and keeping the books straight. I want to thank them for that. Treasurers successfully hosted New Mexico County's affiliate this last month. They had treasurers from all over the state. They did a great job of hosting and represented us all very well. Of course, the Sheriff's Department, they're doing great things. They're getting lots of candy, but we also want to remind everyone that Chaves County Administrative Office also could use some candy, because we give ours all out to Pecos Elementary School. And if there's any left in town, you can donate some to us too. The detention center, of course, they're just like the SO. They're doing things behind the scenes all the time, making sure that we're safe, and we appreciate them very much. All the buildings that we have, the good maintenance that we have is because of our maintenance department. And then I mentioned Joe from our road department a little earlier, and I can't say enough how proud we are of you for stepping forward with that TPF grant. Your whole department does a good job. Angelo's first one out anytime it rains, making sure barrels and stuff are in place and people are safe. And just want to thank all the departments for all that they do. And thank you, Commission, for allowing us to do our jobs and to provide for the people in our county. That's all. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill. Commissioner Taylor.
First of all, I'd like to say it's great we've gotten some rain. Of course, with that rain, I've had several constituents complaining about the mosquitoes. And
Jim.
one of the questions I had is, of course, the rivers running through is a great place for the mosquitoes nest, I guess. And the question came up is, whose responsibility is it to spray along those riverbeds that run through the city? Is it the city or the county? Do we have some responsibility, or should we be working together? Because I've heard that, statewide, this is a problem with the mosquitoes, and there are some that are very infectious.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Taylor, Chaves County Road Department handles all of the vector control within Chaves County. All the people in the city need to do is give a call to the road department and they will schedule it. There's certain limitations on how often they can spray the certain chemicals that they use because of the active ingredient. But they respond, and they respond quickly, and they respond in the middle of the night. So you may not always know that they've been there, but they do fog areas up and down the rivers, streets, alleys. They don't do private property, but anywhere public, parks, they do all those things. So if people will let them know, they'll be out there.
Very good. Because I understand one of the major problems is along the Spring River running through the center of Roswell, that I've heard a lot of problems along there. Like I say, we're thankful for the rain. That's all I have.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Dana.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, we are thankful for the rain, but it does bring the mosquitoes and the weeds. That's why I need a tractor. Mine died a horrible death, so, and it wasn't because of me. But thank you, Road Department. I did call. I had someone had asked about spraying, and they took care of it, no problem. So I thank you very much for that. Every department is very responsive. People just got to pick up the phone and call and ask. We're all departments. We are very responsive to each and every. Don't go out there spreading rumors about, and half the time they call me and they go, well, I'll ask them, did you call? No, I didn't. Well, here's the phone number. Thank you, Jessica, for the phone list. I have it printed out. It's on my bar. That way when people call, here, call. This is the number. Because we are very responsive, and I appreciate that. Two, in response to people coming and talking about the Dominion machines and elections and stuff, we have an election coming up November 8th. That is your first line of defense. These machines didn't just pop up this year. This problem didn't just pop up this year. We've had these machines around for many years. Secretary of State's office, we have someone that's running for Secretary of State this year. So, if you don't like what's happening, get out and vote. I've heard people frustrated, I'm not going to vote. Well, okay, then don't come griping to me about what is happening, because that is where it starts, is with you getting out and voting for candidates that hopefully will take care of some of these problems. It's not going to be an overnight fix, It's just the way it's happened. It didn't come about overnight, and it's not going away. But if you don't like the problem, get out and vote for the candidate that's going to hopefully help in some of these issues. I appreciate everything that Cindy is doing. I know we've had conversations about things that are coming up in this election and stuff. But like I said, everybody's accessible in this county. So if you have a question, please make sure you call. I know I had someone call, and let me tell you what, Cindy, your clerk's office was right on, sent me the statute and everything. And I called the person back, told them this is the statute, this is what you need to do, and they were very grateful. So, yeah, sometimes emotions run high when people call and stuff, so that's okay. when I get the phone call in your office or anybody else's office, road department, thank you very much. I've gotten those calls too. So I appreciate the help and stuff. So sometimes we have to be the calm voice after they call and get upset at y'all. Sometimes you guys take it from the front, and I know you guys are there and you take it. So it's okay. We're behind you 100% with me and this county commission. So I appreciate it. And I will take the weeds and the mosquitoes because I like the rain. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner Dana. Commissioner Zell.
First of all, congratulations again to Lucia and the Finance Department for the thumbs up from DFA on the budget. Joe, can you build a bridge over Brasher faster than the city can build one at Atkinson? I had to wait till the mayor left.
Yep.
I just thank everybody for their hard work. It's going good. And that's all I have, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Bilberry.
I just want to reflect that of all things that's been said, thank everybody for their hard work. Bill commented on him and I going to the fall cattle growers meeting, and anyway, I kind of threw Bill under the bus, but he did well, and there was a lot of compliments, Bill, from those guys that were there. They appreciate all the things you had to say and what Chaves County is doing on the 30 by 30 and also for the cattle industry and agriculture in general in Chaves County. So anyway, once very, very thankful for the rain. It's made my life a lot easier, and I'll take the mosquitoes and the weeds so along with it. Anyway, but that's all I've got. Thank you.
Thanks, Commissioner. And I just echo all the things that have been said up here from Bill and all the departments and what the commissioners had to say. I wish Ms. Brainerd hadn't left, because typically when we have public comments, I try not to respond to the public comments that are going on until it's my turn to have public comments. And I think it should be known that we all are concerned to make sure that our elections count. I know that our county clerk, Miss Cindy, does an amazing job. I wish Larry Marker all the luck in the world. They're working hard to try and get elected as a write-in candidate. I hope that happens. And I know that here in Chaves County, when the votes are put in and taken, I'm sure from what I heard from Cindy was that she had this under control for the write-in ballots. And if at some point in time she thinks she's losing control of that, I know that she will come to us to help manage and figure out how to get it under control. So I do want Mrs. Brainerd and anybody else who's concerned about that to know that we are paying attention to it, but our jobs are to be the commissioners and support our county clerk in getting and doing what's right and proper for our elections that are coming up on November 8th. With that being said, we've got a lot of things going on between now and our next meeting. We've got Fair Parade. We've got the Eastern Mexico Fair that's going to be happening. I know Commissioner Zell's working hard with his board members and our local emergency personnel, including the sheriff. And Mike, thank you for stepping up and being a part to help. And hopefully we'll see a different situation than we did last year and have all of our local law enforcement and fire guys working together. I think we're in a different position now with new leadership at City Hall. So I think that's going to be good for the community, and I think it's going to be some good events there. We've got some board meetings that I have. I'll probably come back in our October meeting and be able to talk about things that we have going on at the Western Interstate region and New Mexico counties. It's really unfortunate that New Mexico counties were not able to be here today to talk about the situation that we have going on statewide with our detention facilities. Justin, I appreciate everything you're doing out there. Just hold on, because hopefully we'll get some of this figured out, and hopefully we'll get people who want to go back to work, and so we can staff our detention facility to the best of our ability and get people out there to work. But this isn't something that is just a Chaves County deal. This is a statewide situation that we have going on, and I'm just dismayed to listen to Mike and Commissioner Dana talking about the House Bill 11 and what we're looking at as far as malpractice stuff with our doctors and how that could be going through the roof and why people don't want to come. But it's not any different than the House Bill 4 that they passed, where they're opening up the doors for litigation and lawsuits, and it's just such a intimidation deal, and so people are not going to want to work in these types of positions in these fields, or at least not in the state of New Mexico. And so that's really damaging to all of us in this state, let alone Chaves County. But I hope that maybe somewhere in this 60-day session, in the next legislative session, we get some folks that are elected and have some common sense to do the right things and help us in our communities, whether it's law enforcement or healthcare or whatever else it may be that puts us under a strain when it comes to finances and stuff. Don't have anything else. Good meeting today, guys. Appreciate everybody, and God bless Chaves County and the United States of America, and this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.